Admiralty/Maritime Law. Introduction to Admiralty/Maritime Law. In the evolution of the American legal system, a significant transformation has occurred. Equity law, which once governed the proceedings of America's corporate courts, has gradually been replaced by Admiralty/Maritime Law. This shift is supported by Title 28 of the United States Code and the Judiciary Act of 1789. Admiralty/Maritime Law, also known as the law of merchants and sailors, now dominates judicial procedures in these courts. Presumption of guilt and legal implications. Under Admiralty/Maritime Law, individuals entering the courtroom are no longer presumed innocent. Rather, the court begins with the presumption that you are liable for debts such as a mortgage or taxes, or that you are guilty of a criminal offense defined by statutory law. The burden of proof is thereby reversed, placing the responsibility on the accused to prove their innocence. This is a departure from the long-held democratic ideal that one is innocent until proven guilty. In effect, this legal standard resembles that used in a military court-martial. Adhesion contracts and trusts. Americans today are unknowingly bound to legal obligations through adhesion contracts and undisclosed trust arrangements. These mechanisms reinforce control and diminish individual sovereignty. Rather than operating as free citizens, many are treated as legal entities, effectively slaves to a system designed to maintain the supremacy of those in power. Control through propaganda and enforcement. The elite and their political agents use multifaceted tools to maintain their authority. These include widespread propaganda disseminated through government-funded schools, organized religion, corporate media, and strategic psychological operations. Additionally, the legal and enforcement systems, including courts and police, act as instruments of control. Police officers, often conditioned through military service or institutional training, are taught to follow orders without question. This lack of critical thinking can render them unwitting enforcers of an oppressive legal system. Federal policing and government protection. Over time, the rise of federal law enforcement agencies was motivated by the need for political elites to protect themselves. These agencies were not primarily established to serve the public, but to secure those in power. For public officials engaged in questionable or treasonous actions, personal protection was critical. However, to justify the presence and expense of such protection, officials had to manufacture threats or shift blame, concealing their true motivations. Conclusion. As more statutes, regulations, and enforcement bodies are created, the degree of public surveillance and control increases. This systematic expansion consolidates power among the elite while diminishing the rights and freedoms of ordinary citizens. Understanding the legal framework and psychological strategies at play is essential for reclaiming sovereignty and restoring justice.